Hi everyone, I'm in my gardening room today and I'm here to talk to you about amaryllis bulbs. Amaryllis, it's that well-known, when you see them you think of Christmas. It's that flower that grows inside the house, also known as hipastrum, and it is a lovely, lovely flower. Grows on a nice, thick, green, tall stem, and it usually comes in red or white. In this case, this one is called Santiago, and it's got beautiful red and white striping with a nice chartreuse green center. They come in plain white, they come in white with pink trims on the petals, edges, known as picotee. So many different beautiful colors, very traditional for Christmas. And if you're looking to grow something different, a bulb type flower, this is the one you want to try. Now, amaryllis is very, very easy to grow from bulbs, and I want to show you what to do. I'm going to walk you through the steps, and maybe you can plant some of your own if you never have before. And maybe you do grow these, hipastrum or amaryllis, they will come back. So if you treat them the right way, if you grow them and then kind of take care of them over the summertime, they will regrow again next year. Now on my website, juliedemakos.com, I have some posts on growing amaryllis, so if you're looking for more information, I'm going to have a link at the bottom of the video under the description. I'm going to have a link to that post, so please feel free to click it. There's about 2 or 3 of them related to amaryllis, but I'm going to show you today what I do to plant this one. Now Santiago is a new variety for me. I have not grown this one before, so I'm really excited to add this color, and I think red and white is just so spectacular to see it in around Christmas time. And it's something different. Like typically people grow poinsettias around Christmas, but I like to grow something different. I love flowers, so this is what I'm going to grow. Now if you do have an amaryllis and you want to hold off and plant it after Christmas and have something grow during the dead of winter, especially if you're here in the Northeast where winters are a little bit long and a little bit harsh, just keep it in the fridge, and then it won't sprout, and then as soon as you take it out, it's going to be wanting to grow. So I got this one here at there it is. It's just a bulb. I got this at the local garden center here, and it's very, very fresh and it's ready. And thankfully, once I open it, you'll see, but the tip does not have any green growth yet. But if you buy it in a box and it's nice and cozy, like in a Walmart, if you open the box, you'll see that there's going to be some green sticking out at the top, and it really needs to get planted. And if it doesn't have the light and it's growing inside a box, it will be kind of pale colored, but as soon as you take it out and it does see some light, it will start to green up and the chlorophyll will start to develop. So anyways, once you see them, definitely grab them. If they do come in a box, open up the box when you're at the store, double check, make sure it's not rotting. Sometimes if it's an old bulb or it's not properly stored, it's been too hot, you'll see that there's some molding or rotting. Don't take that one. Also try to touch it, squeeze the tip and push the bottom and see if it's soft. And if it's soft, you don't want that bulb. Skip that one. Just take a good look, because it's really easy just to grab a bulb at the store. You think, okay, it's fine, it's a box, and bring it home. And then you bring it home and it's disappointing. Sometimes they will give you 2 flowers if you're lucky. Sometimes they will finish flowering, then come back, and I know some friends that has happened to them as well. So anyways, I will walk you through what to do to plant them. Super, super easy, and then you can do this yourself. Okay, so let's get started. So first of all, I'm going to open up this package. I'm going to open this package and then we'll talk about the tools you need. It's all really very simple. Now, if you do buy this in a box, the box will come equipped with a pot and also have like this puck. Typically, it's a hard puck, and that's typically peat. You'll want to wet that. So what I suggest is putting the puck in the pot in that case, putting water, and usually there's instructions on the box to tell exactly how much water it needs. Maybe it's just a half a cup. Anyways, leave it in there and it will eventually fill up with water and crumble, and then you want to break it up with your hands, and then you would settle the bulb in there. In my case, all I got was this. So this doesn't come with anything but the bulb. So I have my own. I have this over here. I've got some Pro Mix, which is a seed starting mix. There is no soil in there. There's no weeds in there. So it's also perfect for growing bulbs. This bulb here does not require a potting mix. That'll be way too heavy for it. It just needs something simple and light. So that'll be enough. So here I am opening it. This bulb comes from, it's a winter flowering. So I'll just put this here. You can take a look. I just want to see if it says where it's coming from, and I believe it comes from the Netherlands. So I'm really excited to have that, because that's like the heart of bulb country in the world is Holland. So I'm really excited this comes from there, and it's by a company called Florissa. So if you do see this brand, I do really like this brand. I've had some good success. Even with garlic, they sell by Florissa. It's a really nice brand to use. If you do come across it, I highly recommend it. Okay, so I'm opening up the bag. Here's the bag. And I will show you what it looks like once I open it up. Okay, so I'm taking out of the bag. Now, when I picked out this package today, I did try to see through the package the condition of the bulb to make sure there was nothing soft. So here's the bulb, and you can see here that, so this is last year's. You would see like they would have cut it here, and then they cured it, it dried, and now it's ready to get started again. It's nice and cold. If I feel around, there are no soft and squishy parts, not at all. The base looks good too. I don't see any rotting at all in the crown, so that looks good. And then as well here in the nose, I guess whatever you call this part again is also dry and nice, and there's no mold, so it's perfect. And I also like the fact that it hasn't started growing yet. I really would rather it grow straight, and when it comes in a box sometimes, because it doesn't have light, when you do find it, you'll find that it's all like crooked and white and curved because it's trying to reach the light. So I really like getting it like this. But you know, in the box, if you do find one in a box, it's very, very easy. It's sold as a kit, and it's super quick to do. Sometimes even the dollar store sells them, so keep your eyes open about that. So here's the bulb. Now it's important when you plant this that you don't plant it, you don't bury it. So you want to have this bulb stick out about halfway, okay, till about the shoulders. So you're going to nestle it into the soil, and you're going to leave this much exposed, and that's what you want. If you bury it like this, what you'll end up doing is rotting the top of the bulb, and it will not grow. So you definitely want to have it out like about half, I would say. Like this would be perfect, okay? So I'm going to take my pot, and I'm going to put it in here in my mix. Now in this mix I have, like I mentioned, it's a pro mix, it's a seed starting mix, very, very light, very loamy, as you can see, very, very light, which is what I want. I don't want this bulb to sit in a ton of wet and heavy soil because it won't grow. Also, what I did was I added some worm castings. Worm castings are basically worm poop, and that's a really natural, great fertilizer. It's a natural compost, it's high in nitrogen, so that'll be great for this. It's just a kind of a mild, light feed that I like to add when I'm starting seeds. So it's a light compost, not heavy. It's about the same texture as the seed starting mix, so it's just perfect. There's no clumps. Okay, so I'm filling it up, and I want to put a little bit more soil. As you can see here, I still have about, now if I push it down just a tiny bit, you see here that I have just over half, so it's not enough. I do need more. Okay, so I'm carrying on, and this looks about right now to me. So as you can see here, it's not quite to the top. I do want to have some space so that when I do water, the water is not going to roll out the sides or come over the sides. At the same time, I don't want the bulb like so deep in the pot that you can't see it. So this is just about right. So you leave about an inch of head space, maybe an inch and a half. So next, I'm going to tip the camera and I'm going to show you what I do next. Okay, so here's my pot. And so I want my bulb to sit like this. Okay, but I'm not going to push the bulb in because I don't want to damage the crown. So I'm just going to make a gap with my fingers because I see that the bulb has a big root system, right? I'm not going to touch that root system. I want it to be maintained and intact. So I'm just gently making a nice well here in my pot. Okay, I hope you can see that. Okay. And now I'm going to very gently just nestle the bulb directly in the pot. Now I do want it to be a little bit more center, so I will try to work out the side here a bit more so I make space for those roots, like so. Okay, and now all I'm going to do is just take a little bit more soil, and I'm just going to carefully just place it around the edges, leaving the top uncovered. Now this is why it's a good idea to leave at least, an inch to 2 inches of headspace when you are planting the bulb, because you want to be able to have enough space to add additional soil if you need that. So here we go. Just gonna put a little bit more on this side here just to hold it in place, because I like to make everything look nice. And that's it. And now it's in place. Okay. Maybe a little bit more on this side. Okay, so now all it needs is some water, because when you buy a seed starting mix, it is typically very, very dry. So it does need some water, but I'm not gonna flood this pot, just a little bit of water all the way around. Now I used a pot that doesn't have holes at the bottom, so I'm gonna be really careful. And I find with Amaryllis, it's okay to plant in a pot without drainage holes. It's not in there for very long, and once it finishes blooming, it's basically done, you know, and then it can sit. It doesn't need as much water either, but just a little bit more. So I'm not gonna water the top either because I don't wanna get this wet here. And that's it. So I'm gonna lift up the camera again. So that's it. So now the Amaryllis is planted, and now I'm gonna leave it in a sunny window. The sun, eventually it'll start to grow. Once the water absorbs into the roots will kind of just wake up and they'll start to grow, and then very soon I will begin to see a green growth coming out the top of the bulb. But as you can see, this is how deep it's planted. The shoulders are all out. The bulb is in the center of the pot pretty much. And half the bulb is exposed, the bottom half is under the soil, the top half is above the soil, and that's exactly how you want it. It's not firmly planted where it's like, you know, I've really pushed it in hard, but at the same time it's not so loose that it's gonna fall out. You wanna firm the soil just lightly all around. Just make sure that it's not too fluffy, because again, if it's too fluffy and you water, all the soil will drop, so you don't want that. You wanna have an idea. You wanna lightly firm it around just to make sure that the soil is in place. And that's it, and that's how you plant an Amaryllis bulb. So hope you guys get out and get some of your own. If you haven't ever grown them before, they're very, very easy. You don't need a lot of space. If you live in an apartment, a window is just fine. You know, you can keep it on your table. It doesn't really require crazy sunlight. You don't need to keep it directly in the window. I like to keep it on my kitchen table. I like to keep it on my dining room table, the family room, wherever. And I find it has plenty of light. Doesn't typically reach for the light either. So it's very, very easy to grow. So get out and get some. Check out my website for the post and see about growing information and about how to keep them for next year. And you can keep them and they'll regrow for you again the following year. So that's it for now. Thanks for watching. Be sure to click the like button if you like this video. I'd love to know. And be sure to subscribe and click the notification bell for updates. And that way you get to see whenever I have a new post come up or a new video. So that's it. Have a wonderful day. Happy gardening, and I'll talk to all of you again soon. Bye for now.